Welcome to another episode. Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Boogie, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
It's that bop, baby. It's that bop. That's sports for the culture, bop.
Boy, I love that intro. Give me hype every time, but let's go. Hey, I'm your man T-Boogie, man. We got another episode of Gas Sports for the Culture for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm back. Got me a new background. Hope y'all like it. If you don't, there ain't nothing I can do about it. But let's get this thing started, man. Let me introduce my brothers, man. Top left, man. Introduce yourself.
What up? It's the one, it's the only. It's the roaring, soaring, scruff lion. I'm back in full effect. Back-to-back weeks. I'm ready to come get into it, man. It's been March Madness. It's been a whole bunch of trades going down. People talking reckless in the backstage. We about to get into it. Let's get ready.
It's definitely been a lot of good sports action this past week, man. Top right, introduce yourself.
Y'all know what it is. At Bryce, XXV, Double I, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer, a.k.a. my mama's favorite gas panelist. My mama called me right before the show. I had to say, Mama, I'm about to hop on the show, Mama. I don't got much time. What's up? But nah, that's real fact though. But yeah, man. Hey, I'm excited to get into it tonight. I feel like we got a full slate, man. It might get ugly tonight. We're gonna see, man. Let's get it popping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Mom come first. You know what I'm saying? We just got out of Women's Month. Moms always come first every month. Hey, bottom left, man. Last but not least.
It's your boy D-Malo, and it's time for the biggest degenerates to come out for baseball season. Let's go Yankees!
No.
I don't know how we get into baseball season, but I don't know.
Hey, man,
I might get into it this
year.
year.
If you're a degenerate gambler, bro, it's one of the best time of the years. You got baseball and basketball, a little bit of hockey.
As soon as you said baseball, 5 people left. So thanks.
Hey, man, but let's jump into, you know what I'm saying, what's pressing right now the most in sports, man. It's March Madness. And let's start it off with the women's. It's pretty much been the biggest thing going on right now, man. I seen LeBron James tweet about it. Baylor versus UConn, man. Them Huskies versus them Lady Bears. 2 versus 1. Came down to the last possession, and there was a lot of debate about how that last play went. Was it a foul? Was it a good no call? Carrington from Baylor, you know her with the long blonde braids out there, you know, doing her thing. She gets to the bucket under 10 seconds. She gets a shot up to UConn defenders close out. A little contact there, and it was a no call. It was a no call. Baylor loses that game. UConn goes on to win. Y'all catch that video? Y'all catch that game, that highlight, man? How do y'all feel about it? A lot of people weighed in on it.
Hey, man. Last year,
Nah, go ahead, G.
Last year we were complaining when Jimmy Butler won that game versus the Bucks when there was a foul. We complained and we bitched about it, and now the women had the opportunity to close out the game. UConn played defense. I'm like, come on, you really thought you would get that shot off with like 4 defenders on her? That ball wasn't gonna make it regardless. So the ref did what we always complain about. You let them play. And the girls played their asses off, and you commend both squad, but end of the day, UConn won that game. And I wouldn't mind it going overtime because it would have been a 2-point, right?
Hey, G, you made a probably one of the strongest points I've heard about this. Athletes, players, fans always say the refs control the games too much. They want the refs to let them play, man. They let them play, and now everybody's crying. Everybody's crying. What you think about that, Scruff?
I mean, if you look at the play live, I mean, she had like 2 girls on her elbow, like, you know what I mean? And then if you look at the still shot does it for me. The still shot tells me everything I need to know. Like, come on, bro. Like the girl's arm is literally like they're like on her, and then like her arm is literally they got arms on arms on arms on top of her. Like, how's it not a call? I mean, but I mean, we know what this is. Like, we know what it is. Like, UConn, like, come on, UConn. Like, you don't think that the women's basketball tournament, the NCAA March Madness tournament for the women, we already had the controversial disparities between the way that they were being treated in their respective bubbles, right? You got the girls with the lack of weight training equipment, right? And then you got the guys with the full fucking Olympic set, So they already was a little weary about the girls' game because I guess the ratings, right? So the last thing that the NCAA and the powers that be wanted was for the great UConn to get knocked out of the tournament. Baylor's pretty good though, don't get me wrong, but nobody, well, at least the higher ups, don't want to see UConn get bounced. They want to see UConn go all the way. They love UConn. And, I mean, what's not to like? I mean, Gino is obviously a legend. He's kind of like the greatest women's coach of all time, potentially. He's in that conversation. Right along there with Pat Summitt and Vivian Stringer, if you ask me. But, yeah, I mean, it was a foul. It's clearly a foul. But, when you're UConn, you can get stuff off. It's just like, it's just what comes with being a territory. So, yeah, I don't think they wanted to see UConn get bounced. And they definitely didn't want to see Paige get bounced because she's the pride and glory of the NCAA women's tournament right now. She's the poster child for the tournament. So the last thing they wanted was her to get bounced. They want to see her in the championship or close to the championship for ratings purposes. So we all know what it was. I think they purposely decided to keep their whistles in their pockets, if you will. But that wasn't consistent with the way the rest of the game was being called. So that's why I have a problem with it.
So you said it was a little Geno juice. I will agree that Paige Buckets is a superstar. You know what I'm saying? If you're on IG, you follow hoops, not even women's hoops, just basketball in general, she is. What you think about it, Bryce?
Man, Helen Keller would have seen that foul. Ray Charles could have seen that foul. Stevie Wonder definitely would have seen that foul because I heard he could actually see. But hey, man, it's ridiculous that it wasn't called, bro. Like it's utterly ridiculous. You got one person on your elbow, the other one hitting you in the face. I mean, what you gonna do? Don't get me wrong. I watched some of that game. It was they were letting them play. Like the refs were letting them play the whole game. Like Baylor had some moments in that game where they were roughing up UConn. UConn had some moments in that game where they were roughing up Baylor. But for the last play to come down to an egregious foul, that was not a normal foul. That was not like, it could go either way. That's two people fouling one person. That's an automatic foul call. I mean, I watched the game the other day with the men's, and who was it? Was it Arkansas was playing, and they got the foul call late in the game. They went to the line and missed two frees. The difference is they know if you foul the ladies, they're gonna go up there, they're gonna step up, they're gonna knock both free throws, and they're gonna seal the game. And maybe it was a little a little something in the works there. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. We know how Gino Auriemma get down. He get the best player every year. I'm not gonna say there's no incentives going around for that. But I just can't respect it. I can't respect the refs keeping the whistle in their mouth on that one, man. Like, I don't know, bro. It's hard for me to respect the refs. And honestly, like in the men's and the women's side, I'm usually very, very positive when it comes to college refereeing. I usually say I really think usually college has better refereeing than the pros as far as basketball goes. Football's a different story. But as far as basketball goes, I've always thought the NCAA refs were great. But this entire tournament, they have let me down. It's been the worst officiated tournament that I can remember in my lifetime, not only on the men's side, on the women's side as well. And I think this was a prime example of that. You let them girls down at Baylor. Gino Auriemma is a hell of a coach. Ken Mulkey, if you think Gino Auriemma is first, Ken Mulkey's probably second when it comes to women's coaches. Like, she's a great coach, a legendary women's coach. And for her to be cheated out of that, I mean, that's not to say cheated. I don't want to go that far, but for that call not to be called in that moment, I think it was ridiculous. I think it was egregious.
Egregious. And that's interesting, man, because I got a total different take. That's a no call. It's a great no call. Like, we don't want the refs to decide games, right? Look, the way I was raised, you initiate the contact in that last second shot. You don't fade away from the basket. If you watch the video, that's what she's doing. She didn't initiate the contact. She's kind of fading away. They did close out. The arms weren't straight up. They're kind of on her elbow. But you shot a fadeaway. The refs shouldn't bail you out when you shoot the fadeaway. If you're playing a pickup game, right, you're down at the local Y, the rec, the LA Fitness. the last point, man, you got to earn that. You got to play through the contact. You don't go to you're not winning games with that weak stuff is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So what's supposed to happen? What's supposed to happen right there? Are you just allowed to foul anybody as long as it's 4 seconds left in the game? As long as it's down to the wire, you can foul them and get away with it? What precedent are we saying?
I'm saying you either create space to get a good shot or you go strong and you make the ref blow the whistle. You know what I'm saying? You don't leave it up to the ref. You make the ref blow the whistle. You jump into those women and you put that thing up on the board and hopefully it rattles in. And a call has to get made then. The bodies hit the ground if everyone's falling. But when you're fading away and people are closing out, and when you slow the play down right in the replay, of course you're going to see everything. You're going to see all the touching. You're going to see how the defender didn't have perfect technique. And bro, that is a snap play. It's a snap call. You got to play strong. You want to win, right? Why are we taking a fade away at the end of the game?
Because maybe that's how Michael Jordan got famous. If you hit me in the face at the end of the game, I don't care what type of shot I'm taking. If I get hit in the face, blow the whistle. It's a foul. It's ridiculous. Not only did she get hit in the face,
but you're saying that was a great shot.
Elbow. I'm not saying it was a great shot. I'm just saying
that was a terrible shot. It was
time running
terrible
out.
Shot.
Time about to expire. You're getting what you can. Okay, good shot, bad shot, indifferent. I don't care what the shot was. If I shoot a half-court shot and I get fouled, blow the whistle. That was an obvious foul. Two people hitting her at the same time. Come on, bro.
Better off shooting the three. Why did she even run it? Why didn't she try to get that close to the rim? She should have just shot the three. Why even go to the
lane? Win the game, B.
That's ridiculous, bro.
She's tying the game. That would have been a
hey, I'll tell you this. If that happens in the men's game, everybody's outraged. If that happens to Jalen Suggs next week, everybody's outraged, bro. Everybody. That's a ridiculous call.
People are still outraged right now. What I'm saying is, you don't put it in the hands of the ref. They tell you that. If you really wanted to beat UConn, don't let that game come down to one possession. If you really wanted to beat UConn, you make a strong drive. You really wanted to get your shot off, you shoot it before two taller players are in your face. You don't go up there and throw up a prayer and then ask the ref for a foul. Nobody slapped you. They put their arms out and touched you. Nobody slapped you.
No. She got hit in the face. Down. They were both coming down like this. No one was straight up in the air. She got hit in the face and on the elbow. Maybe if it's just the elbow, I look at it and I say, all right, you got to earn that bucket. But you hit me in the face and the elbow with two different people? Man, blow the whistle, man. Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle.
Facts, bro.
We're not doing that, man. Fuck all of that. You should have been a better shot. You got to get that up to the coach. The coach should have drew a better play. You're gonna need to.
They didn't draw up a play. They didn't draw up a play. It was playground ball to end the game, and you lost the game. Stop crying. There's no crying in basketball. People lose games every day.
Well, I say this, man. Men or women's side, that was the best game of the tournament, if you ask me.
I can respect that because that was a tough game between two powerhouses, storied college franchises. Yes, sir.
It was, but it was pretty good. Also, I'll throw the UConn Iowa game was also pretty tough. Two freshmen going head to head. Caitlin Clark from Iowa dropping 27 a game. She's a problem. And then you got Paige buckets. Obviously, we know she's like the hottest thing in college basketball right now for women's. That was also pretty nice. So honestly, right now, I agree with you, B. I actually say that those were two of the best games in the tournament. They were both women's games. So y'all need to turn on the women's games.
And think of the story. I can't remember. I wish I could remember her name right now. Oh, Dee. The last name's not coming to me right now. But Dee on Baylor, bro. She came back from being paralyzed this year, bro. Like, y'all just ruined the story, man. Y'all ruined the moment. She came back from being paralyzed, like, and made it to this moment. And then y'all don't blow the whistle, bro. Go ahead, man. Horrible.
There's no guarantee that she makes those free throws.
Hey, women, she gonna knock them. This ain't the men's game. She gonna knock them things, bro. They skilled out there.
She's a pretty high percentage free throw shooter. I looked at that.
No, she probably would have sank, man. You know, women are way more fundamental than men, man. They get to the free throw line, they hitting those two, she cashing out. But what about the men's, man? You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of brackets are busted. Y'all mentioned this last week, but everyone failed to mention that Your boy has the #1 bracket in the gas bracket challenge. You know what I'm saying? That was a convenient, you know, way to just lead a boy out. But don't worry, I'm back to tell the fans. It's me, man. I told you Oregon will make a run. I picked Baylor to win it all. Baylor, we still alive, baby. But so far, what we at the Final Four? I guess we got one game going on right now. Was that Michigan, UCLA? But so far, man, we got Gonzaga, Baylor, and Houston there, man. 3 really strong teams. If Michigan gets in, that's gonna be 4 really strong teams, man. What do y'all think about the tournament so far? Y'all like the matchups? Any teams you like better than others? I mean, you got a chance to redo your bracket right here.
It's up to Gonzaga to win or to lose.
If they win, that's legendary, bro. And I gotta add in T is #1, but I'm right on his heels, man. You know, one game go another way, and I might take that top spot this week, man. So I'm wishing for the best when it comes to that. But I'm not gonna lie, USC just let me down a little bit. USC just let me down. I thought Evan Mobley was gonna be in his bag tonight. I said the same thing about Cade Cunningham last week. I said he's a little too passive. I saw the same thing from Evan Mobley. I mean, it's like 6, maybe 8 minutes left in the game. My man got 5 field goal attempts. I'm like looking at it like, wait, what's going on, bro? Why is my man not going off? I don't know what it is right now. You know, maybe it's scheme, maybe it's play calling, maybe it's coaching. But it seems like some of these top guys are not taking over the game like I expected them to. And these are guys we're penciling in as top 5 draft picks. I would have loved to see Evan Mobley take over just a little more tonight.
I think you make a good point, man. There's a couple big name guys that I really wanted to do more. There's a couple guys that did more that I wasn't expecting. So I mean, just watching the tournament, you guys got any guys that you know risers in their draft stock or any guys that hurt themselves? Because yeah, like you said, Cade and Mobley didn't really give you the performance that people were looking for. Especially Cade, he kind of shot terribly, but I don't know, man. How y'all feel about a couple of these guys' draft stocks?
I'll speak to that, man. Honestly, I had a tough time prior to the tournament ranking. I tell y'all that I don't typically rank players until the tournament. I'll actually officially rank the players once the tournament's over. Last year there was no tournament, so it kind of messed me up. But I like to see the players when the cream rises to the top in March. You'll get to see what kind of players are going to go head to head. And I think one player has elevated himself to the top of the draft board, and that's Jalen Suggs. I think he's the consensus #1 pick at this point. I love to see a matchup between 2 potential top 3 picks or even lottery picks. We got spoiled. We got 2 guys that are probably going to go potentially 1 and 2 in the draft, and they went head to head. So I loved it. I agree. I loved Cade Cunningham. I loved Evan Mobley. And I love Jalen Suggs, but I wasn't sure where I would rank them. Now I would say consensusly, Jalen Suggs is the #1 player on the board for me on my NBA draft board. And this kid's got it all. He's got the intangibles. He seems to be able to run the team. He's balanced. You know, he does a little bit of everything. Seems to be a can't-miss prospect from what I can see. I was very high on Cade Cunningham throughout the season, but he left a little bit, lacking, if you will. And I don't knock Evan Mobley in this situation either, because it's hard. It's like you said, T. The tournament is a guards game, and unfortunately, it's hard as a big sometimes to control the game when you have to get your touches, and sometimes it can be difficult to get those touches if there's other things that are messing with the team. But Jalen Suggs, man, I mean, he's a pure point guard, man. He's balanced. He does it all. I think he's my #1 player. Safe to say he'll be my #1 player come NBA draft time.
Switched up on Cade in 1 week, man. Last week you was telling me that Cade was the guy when I was banging on the table for Jalen.
Yeah, well, the proof is in the pudding, man. Jalen continues to win. Cade got knocked. Seeing him head to head against another top prospect was very clear. For me, that's a nice way to. I love it when you don't always get them to go head to head. When you get them to go head to head, it tells you everything you need to know. That's why I said definitively that De'Aaron Fox is better than Lonzo Ball. You know what I mean? Because you can't tell me that you're better than Lonzo. But you can't tell me Lonzo Ball's a better prospect than De'Aaron Fox when every time they get on the court together, he gets smoked. So I'd take the head to heads and I take them very seriously.
No, that's real. That's real. When you see these guys against guys with their pedigree, you're expecting somebody to, you know what I'm saying, rise to the top. And it makes sense, man. It's hard to say one guy's better than the other if that guy is performing. Anybody else you guys like? Anybody else you thought didn't play up to expectation?
I know one guy I like, man. I'm still high on Suggs. I'm still high on Cade. But one guy that's shot up my draft board is my guy Davion, man. Davion Mitchell from Baylor. Oh my goodness, bro. You're talking about a guy that's a 4-year player, or maybe 3 or 4-year player, but this is a guy that's paid his dues. He's not a one and done, but he has that type of athletic ability that you expect from a one and done. I think this guy's going to come into the NBA and immediately perform. I think he's played himself into being a lottery pick. I think that's the new mold of the NBA guard is quick, athletic guard. You got to have a quick guard. If your guard can't beat you off the dribble, it's not going to work. And Davion Mitchell, last year he was shooting in the low 30% from three. This year he's up to 45% from three. He's showing me some Damian Lillard vibes. I'm not going to lie. And if there's any team that can take out Gonzaga, it's going to be Baylor. That team is well-rounded. Not only can they play on the offensive side, but they can ball out on the defensive end. I think they are the best defensive team left in the tournament right now. So Davion Mitchell's a guy that shot up my board. Another guy that I was high on coming into the draft, coming into the tournament, and I'm still high on is my guy, Scotty Barnes, man. He got into foul trouble in Florida State's last matchup before they were eliminated. And, you know, foul trouble will take out any young player, especially he's only a freshman. And it's crazy. He doesn't even start on Florida State because Florida State plays that type of, you know, earn it basketball. You got to come into the program and earn your spot. But Scotty Barnes is going to be a dog on the next level. Right now on NBADraft.net, he's projected to go like 6 or 7. I could see him falling right into that slot, that 6 or 7 range. I think Scotty Barnes is going to be a dog at the next level. So Scotty Barnes and Davion Mitchell are two guys that I think have really risen up my draft board for sure in this tournament.
No, that's real. You stole my thunder a little bit, man, because Davion Mitchell, man, just watching him, he just pops, man. He just pops. And originally Butler was the highest NBA profile, you know what I'm saying, next up on that team. But Mitchell is a dog, man. He just stands out. He looks like an NBA player. G, you got one of those guys?
Nah, not really. I wasn't too much into the tournament this year. It didn't catch my attention because looking to the like I'm a gambler and I just saw Gonzaga taking this whole thing. So I only pick in there. I did get to watch the Alabama game and saw terrible defense and how the terrible defense team try to slow down the game against the Bruins. I'm like, well, what is going on here?
Yeah, man. I ain't bet on college basketball just because of the COVID season. I just couldn't bring myself to gamble on that type of situation. But yeah, man, Scruff, you said something earlier about 2 matchups. If Baylor and Gonzaga both get there, which I predict will happen, I got it in my bracket. I got Baylor actually winning. Mitchell and Suggs will be a matchup that the world wants to see. You know, because Mitchell is I've heard some people rate him as probably the best perimeter defender they've graded, you know what I'm saying, in the last 20, 30 years. I don't think he's that elite, but I think he's definitely in that conversation. Javon Carter-esque. Like, the guy is so twitchy.
Draymond Green will have something to say about that.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
He has something to say about that.
Matisse Thybulle is the best perimeter defender I've seen in the last 10 years, but that's just me.
I'm talking about just pure college ball, man. But Suggs is actually a pretty good defender. I think they have some of the same strengths, some of the same weaknesses, actually. I don't know if Suggs is a shooter at the next level. I don't know if Mitchell is a shooter. He certainly increased his profile this year. I don't know if – I need to see more than 1 year. But what I do know is Mitchell can come to the NBA and instantly work within a rotation because he can stop another guard. He can harass. He can be that Pat Beverly on your team until his offense catches up. And he's so twitchy. He reminds me of just watch him. He reminds me a little bit of John Morant, the way he can just blow by a guy and just create, you know, stop and pop, fades, step backs. He's got a lot to his game. So it's going to be interesting to see. Trying to think.
Yeah.
I got a guy that I think kind of hurt his stock a little bit, man. Moses Moody. Again, another one of those big name guys that just didn't really bring it every night. I don't even want to say didn't bring it, but just didn't give me as a fan at least what I was expecting. I thought he was going to take over some games. I thought there were some spots where you just didn't know where he was at on the court. You know, I feel like a guy like Evan Mobley, even when he's not scoring, you notice him on the court, man. He's active, he's blocking shots, he's rebounding. The ball's in his hand. He might not take a shot, but offense is kind of going through him a little bit. But Moses Moody, man, I think he's going to slide down, man, to a late first-round pick, and he was up in that top 15 area at one point. So that's my guy right there that I don't know, man. Hopefully some combines to help him out. But that's what I got for draft risers and, you know, the sliders.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I was gonna say I hate to burst your bubble, T, but Baylor's not gonna make it to the next round because Houston is gonna be Baylor, and Houston is gonna upset Gonzaga for national championship.
Why?
I know that you were here
because they put out the Scarlet Knights.
Well, I mean, they looked good in that game, yes. But rebounding, I like teams that rebound, and Houston rebounds with the best of them. They're scrappy. They have a nice collective unit. It seems like a team that I think can win a championship. But yes, if they win the championship, I will have a slight moral victory as a Scarlet Knights fan. I don't even want to think about the transfer portal right now. That's a whole nother conversation. The transfer portal looking like a club in Atlanta during COVID. You know what I'm saying? Looking very crowded in the transfer portal right now. Very interesting. That's
a lot of guys looking to shake up their situation, man. Definitely a lot of guys trying to move.
Hey, one guy I got to add into this conversation, man, of guys that just risen with the tournament is my guy Jaime Jaquez Jr. from UCLA. Yeah. Literally bailed UCLA out against Alabama, bro. Like honestly, if you look at the score of that game, 88-78, looks like UCLA blew them out. Not at all. That game went to overtime. Jaime Jaquez was balling, bro. Step back threes in Bama's faces. He's only a sophomore. I don't think anybody had him on the draft radar coming into this tournament, but he might be playing himself into a bag right now.
Nah, that guy's clutch, man. He's carrying UCLA in them tough spots, them big moments. I didn't even know who he was. He wasn't even on my radar before the tournament. But that's what I like about the tournament, man. Guys that you didn't know, smaller names, big names, just guys rise to the occasion. So who are you guys predicting to win? Is this just an all Gonzaga crowd here?
Nah, Houston's gonna win it all, man. I'm dead serious.
I don't see Houston taking it. I feel what you're coming from. I feel you coming from though. Jarreau is a dog, bro. After I saw him play with that hit pointer, still balling the whole game, like I was like, yeah, he proved something to me. But I don't know if Houston has enough firepower to keep up with Gonzaga, let alone a Baylor. Baylor is the best combination of offense and defense. In my bracket, I got Gonzaga, so this hurts me to say this. But after watching Baylor ball again last night, I think Baylor's going to take it, bro. They just defend so well. And, you know, I can always say defense wins championships. I got to go with Baylor right now if I'm picking favorites. But I will say, if Gonzaga pulls it off, don't we have to rank them amongst the best college teams of all time? I mean, to go undefeated during the regular season, sweep through the tournament, that would be very, very impressive, man. Like, they've got 3, maybe 4 guys that could be flirting with the first round of the draft this year. I mean, this could be an all-time college team right in front of our faces. And if they do go undefeated and win the tournament, I don't know, like, has a team ever done that? I can't remember the last team to do it. Like, I mean, I know there's been some teams that were close in our, you know, in our lifetimes, but bro, that's legendary status right there, man.
Nah, if they get through this whole thing undefeated, man, I think you got to start putting them in that college GOAT talk. I mean, how can you not? It's tough enough to win 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. So, I mean, that's a fairy tale run, to be honest with you. And they do got 4 guys that are going pro. 3 of them for sure. One guy, you know, he might be overseas, but they got 4 dogs on that team. But I still think Baylor gets them, man. My boy Chris Hall made the comparison. Baylor got a 3-guard, 3-headed monster, man. He compared him to D. Brown, Luther Head, and Deron Williams back in the day at Illinois. So I said that was a good comparison. He texted me and I said, I see a little bit of that. We got just 3 guys that can get hot and just kill you in different ways. So I don't know. I think Baylor stops them, though. That's my prediction. As much as everyone wants that storybook Gonzaga, I don't even like Gonzaga. They don't even have a football team. Like, well, I want Baylor to win this time.
Shout out FanDuel Sportsbook. Go ahead and plug us up with that advertisement and that sponsorship. I just put $18 on Houston plus 176. They are a +5 underdog. I'd say the +5 is a lock. But if you want to make some money like me, go ahead and take the money line.
Hey, that's not a bad bet. That's not a bad bet. And if UCLA gets past Michigan tonight, which they're up 4 right now, you know, second half, 19 minutes still to go, so plenty of basketball to be played. But my man with the crazy dreads, Jaime Jaquez Jr., then they got the boy that was at Kentucky last year. Hey, UCLA got a nice little mob over there, man. Mitch Cronin been coaching them up for a minute. I thought he thoroughly outcoached Alabama's coach last week. Best thing about Alabama's coach was the blazer he had on. He got outcoached from jump ball. But yeah, man, UCLA 11 seed, bro. If they ran off with it, that's another dark horse. And if you're a betting man, that would be a nice little bet to put some bread on.
Yeah, I think I will.
Hey, Jabet. Yeah, man. So let's keep it pushing a little bit. Let's keep it moving. Let's get to some. So this topic, man, I know we tried to stay away from it a little bit early, but you know, the intensity has just grown to where we can't get around it right now. And that's Deshaun Watson, man. And Deshaun Watson's having a rough time right now. You know, he's holding out, didn't want to play for Houston, tried to get himself positioned on another team. Now, bam, a couple women have came out alleging that he's done inappropriate things, you know, in massage settings where he would reach out to these women, bring them in, and just act inappropriately. And it started with 3-4 women, and now it's up to 19. I think I've heard it's up to 20, 24 women, maybe, with 14 lawsuits. Some of the women haven't decided if they want to sue or not, you know, how they want to proceed. It's a hard spot for Deshaun. How do you guys feel about this Deshaun Watson situation, man? Because it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? Outside of football, he has this personal situation going on. So how do you guys feel about this?
Man, it seems like, you know, initially, I think like everybody, I was outside looking at the story. We all heard the news that the lawyer of the women was friends with the owner of the Texans. So the first thing you're gonna think is they colluded to, you know, blackmail this man, to get this man up out of there since he didn't want to sign, since he wanted to leave Houston. He demanded a trade. It definitely looked like that. But now my boy Deshaun he's approaching Cosby numbers, bro. Once you get into Cosby numbers, it's no arguing that. When it first popped off, I said, this is kind of looking like 50-50. Just because I was looking at the outside in, thinking, you know, hey, maybe this is a situation where he is getting blackballed by the team. He is getting, you know, they are trying to trash his name and what have you. But now I've gone from 50-50 to 70-30. 70% that he's done something, 30% chance that he hasn't. Then I went from 70-30 to 80-20. 80% chance he did something nefarious. 20% chance he hasn't. And I will be on record right now, man. If it comes out, when the facts all come out, if it comes out that he did nothing wrong, throw the egg in my face. I will apologize to that man on the air. But whenever you got 20 women, 24 women, all corroborating the same exact story, it's not like it's a whole lot of differences in stories. It seems like this is a serial type of thing where he kind of does the same thing every time. And, you know, is this the worst? I mean, actually, you know what? I shouldn't even judge it as far as bad to worst goes, because at the end of the day, sexual assault is sexual assault, you know. And if somebody felt the way that these women felt, you know, it should be spoken on. You know, I think these women are brave for speaking up, especially against somebody that is an athlete of Deshaun Watson's caliber. And on the flip side, if these women are lying for a bag, then, you know, they should be prosecuted with the law as well. But like I said, man, I'm now 80-20. I might even be 85-15. It's looking like Deshaun Watson did something nefarious, and I hate to say it because it's not. He's shown nothing but a sterling personality, a sterling image. You know, he's shown. It's looked like he's been the golden boy since he came out of Clemson. We never heard anything bad about him at Clemson. Never heard anything bad about him before then. He helps the community. It's sad, man. You really, really hate to see it. But as these numbers creep up higher and higher, it's getting more and more undeniable. And I won't be that guy that just sticks with someone's character that I don't know personally. I don't know Deshaun Watson personally, but I do know over 20 women have come forward saying these things about him. So it's tough, man, because I think we all at one point loved Deshaun Watson, man. If you were a football fan, you were a college football fan, Deshaun was one of your guys, you know what I mean? But at this point, he's approaching Cosby numbers, bro. And I will not be the one. I can't deny that. I think something nefarious went on. What it was is yet to be seen. It is all civil suits. It's not like anybody's pressing criminal charges. So that's another thing you gotta look at. You know, people do. You know, the people that are charging them, they don't necessarily want him arrested and thrown in jail immediately. You know what I mean? So there's something to be said about that too. So I don't think what he did is necessarily the worst possible thing you can do to somebody, right? But it's nefarious. It's nefarious, and I think it is gonna end up in his career being jeopardized for sure.
No, I mean, those numbers you threw out, man, those percentages, I mean, at this point, man, they're understandable. And let's just be clear. These are accusations. These are allegations. I mean, let's not convict him in the court of public opinion just yet. He deserves a fair shake, fair trial if it gets to that. But doesn't look good for the guy. Doesn't look good, man. Speak to it a little bit.
Looks can be very deceiving, see, and that's the thing about the situation, man. There is power in numbers. We all know that, right? And there's also power. Yeah, there's power in numbers in this situation, right? So a certain amount of people come forward, you start to automatically think, well, logically, that this may be something, there might be something to that. But maybe the people that are crafting the situation know that too. They're smart enough to know that. So, I mean, I'm not going to discredit the women as what's going on in the situation, but I do know that if they're all telling the same story, yeah, there is a common thread there, that the same story was told to them of what they need to be told. That's what I think. I think it's a setup. I mean, if I'm looking at the situation, I mean, I don't see it. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. The way I see it, there, like I said, the connection between the lawyer and the owner, right, is clear as day, right? All these women are being represented by this lawyer, who's supposedly what's going on? All these women being represented by this lawyer that's supposedly best friends with the Texans owner, who is notoriously famous for not letting the inmates run the asylum, if you will. So what is he doing? He's trying to take things back. This is one of the oldest books in the not oldest book. This is actually one of the oldest tricks in the book for rich folks. It's called blackmail. It's called using leverage. It's called, hey, he said, she said. And in this situation, in the court of public opinion, yes, people are ready to prosecute him, man, for whatever reason because of the numbers. Oh, a certain amount of numbers come by. Nah, that just means that somebody paid a lot of money to 20 plus people. And tell me that that's the thing. And that's why the numbers come. The reason Tiger Woods' situation happened wasn't because 20 women, no disrespect, but it's not because 20 women just came up and just felt like, hey, look, now's the time that I felt like this is the time I should come out. They came out because they saw the opportunity, and this is the time to come out and speak on it because of the money. Money is always the ultimate motivator in the situation. It doesn't take much. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. I don't know. But I believe in innocent until proven guilty. I agree with Bryce in the sense that he hasn't done anything wrong in his entire career. He's been picture perfect so far, right? I don't see it. I just don't see it. So now all of a sudden he decides that all this stuff happens to come out simultaneously at the same time that he's going through a contract status, a holdout with the Texans owner who's best friends with the lawyer, right? And you could easily pay a couple women to handle this situation. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like a situation where I'm ready to convict this man. And I damn sure ain't going to convict him in the court of public opinion. And I'm just a logical man here. So, I mean, I understand like situations like you might, hey, look, you're in the size or something like that. You know, people happens. That happens. People do that. People get into that. I get it. And I'm not judging people that do. Robert Kraft, you know what's up. But that's a whole nother conversation. But no, if you look around, man, you look at Deshaun Watson's girlfriend, you know, honestly, bro, she bad, bro. Like, her name is Jilly. She bad. Like, she one of the baddest joints I've seen these days, man. So if you got that at home, bro, I don't think you need to be worrying about some massage parlor ladies. I mean, you're good, bro. Like, you don't need all that, man. I mean, cats get greedy, I get it, but like, I'm just adding it all up, and it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, look, those are definitely interesting takes. I mean, you made a lot of points. One was that we have to add the variable of this lawyer is familiar with this owner. We know this owner. We know him as sort of a villain figure, right? Over the whole protesting. So we got to add that dynamic there. We also have to add the dynamic that, again, these are not criminal charges. And this very well could be a money grab. It's hard to say. But at the same time, we also know in situations like this, one woman's voice isn't always received well. And sometimes when you get a bunch of voices together through shared experiences, you can feel empowered to come forward and say, I've had that experience too. I want to support this woman. I want to tell my story. So we can see a bit of that, as well as, I need to be compensated for the situation I was put in. So, I mean, I think it goes both ways. But
Hey T, I think you hit the nail on the head though, T. And I think Scruff did bring up a good point. Deshaun Watson was going through contractual issues with the Texans trying to get out of Houston. But let's not forget, man, when the Bill Cosby stuff went down, you remember what everybody said, right? This only happened because he wanted to buy NBC. That was what everybody was saying. Everyone was saying this is only happening because he wanted to buy NBC. And I'm not going to lie, I fed in that narrative as well. I was like, wait, he's trying to buy NBC? And not to say that those two things didn't perhaps relate to each other. Like, right, people have been knowing about Bill Cosby for years. Maybe it was him buying NBC that somebody that didn't want him to buy NBC was like, hey, don't forget Cosby did this, right? Maybe that is what happened. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change what he did. I saw a statistic out there that said that less than 4% of women are false accusing people of sexual assault. So when people are accusing someone of sexual assault, less than 4% of women are lying about that. So that's not really something that I don't think people are lying about, just as far as the statistics go. And that's why, the more and more I kind of read up on it, the more and more I kind of heard of the accounts from the women, man, the more and more I had to believe, and we'll see when all the facts come out. I hope all the facts do come out. It's civil suits, it's Jane Doe. So maybe the facts don't all come out, but it's looking worse and worse for the boy Deshaun by the day, man.
So do you think that based on that situation, that women or anybody that was lying is going to suddenly change their lie for the purpose of your statistics? Like, get out of here, man. If they were lying, they're going to lie again.
I'm not saying they're going to change their lie for my statistics. What I'm saying is
when 4% are actually not lying.
Less than 4% of women that assault are lying. So 96% of women that come out about sexual assault are telling the truth. That's a staggering figure, bro. That's a staggering figure no matter how you put it. Like if it was 75% and 25% were lying, then it's like, maybe I can reason with myself and, feel like they were lying. But if only 4% of people lie about this, the chances are that nobody in this situation is lying about this. And it just comes down to and the crazy thing about this is we know how the NFL goes, bro. Deshaun Watson gonna get another shot either way, but it just might put a real hitch into his career, man. It might be jeopardized at the moment.
Yeah, Bryce, I think that's an interesting stat, and I just do want to share, from at least in my opinion, nobody really wants to come forward and say that they're the victim of an assault, let alone a sexual assault. It really doesn't do anything for your personal life. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a black mark against you. People talk to you different, they act different around you. It's typically like a last ditch effort, a last, worst case scenario where you feel compelled to I finally have to speak up. It's not always worth the money, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We do know that there are liars out there. There are scam artists, but it's the numbers. I don't care if it's 50%, then that brings Deshaun Watson's number to around 12. So, G, we haven't heard from you. I saw you put the glasses on. You took them back off. You're looking really like a defense attorney. So I'm curious, are you going to defend Watson, defend the women? Are you somewhere in the middle? Where do you land on?
I'm at the middle, man. You got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You can't forget you're innocent until proven guilty. And so then, I'm not gonna sit here and straight slander the man, because technically these could be right now is all he said, she said allegations. And then the crazy thing about this, Deshaun Watson hasn't said anything yet, so you don't know. You don't know what Nick said earlier, this could be employed by something from the owner where he's just trying to slander him as much as possible, so that way whatever deal he gets, the great deal that he gets to trade Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson has no choice but to go to whatever team at this point, due to the fact that Deshaun Watson does get to pick on the no trade policy he has with the contract he signed with the Titans. So let's just see what happens from here on out.
And I'll add that
I can't sit here and say
one way to create
leverage either, because you never know. I personally believe still to this day, I still believe Bill Cosby didn't do none of that shit, but that's just me.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Mr. Huxtable didn't do none of that shit. I don't know.
I don't know about all that, but I still rock with Bill Cosby. I think he was a great, he was he's a legend, man. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that what I will say is there's more than one way in a business situation or negotiation to create leverage. That's all I'll say. And I think this is a great way to create leverage. That's all I'm saying.
Scruff, I mean, you're making a really good point, right? Because in the business world, we know this type of stuff, games are played on these levels, right? And we see this with Daniel Snyder right now and Jeff Bezos. You can't really bully billionaires. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, now Snyder's dirt comes out when, Bezos wants to move in. So there is a bit of that to this Deshaun Watson story. But it's still hard to stomach what these allegations are and just how similar they are. And all right, we talked about this a lot off air, and I know you're saying what it looks like and things like that. Would you feel comfortable with a woman in your family massaging Deshaun Watson right now?
Absolutely not. And that's exactly what it comes down to, bro. Like, absolutely not. With these allegations, there's no way.
Because they ugly. All the ladies in my crib ugly.
Go ahead, bro.
They ugly. They ugly. He ain't gonna do none of that shit. They ugly. They ugly.
Bro.
You disrespectful as hell.
The ladies in my house.
When I see the women in your crib, I'm gonna play back this clip for them, and I'm gonna let them know who they're dealing with.
Nah, bro, like
y'all ugly.
But T, you make a great point, man, and that's what it comes down to, man. Like, like if your girl was a massage therapist and she said, "Hey, I'm about to go meet this football player," you gonna be like, "Who?" Deshaun Watson. He wants a massage. He's gonna fly me out for the weekend. The first thing you're gonna say is hell nah, bro, because these allegations, and like I said, man, it's not like he didn't do what Bill Cosby did, right? He didn't drug women, wait for him to fall out, and then he didn't do that. But what he's done is still nefarious, bro. It's still uncalled for. It's still unacceptable in my eyes. And this is if these are true. I will preface it with if these allegations are true, because there's, like you guys said, they're only allegations, and allegations are only what they are. They're not yet proven. But if they are proven as fact, man, I think it's bad news for Deshaun, bro. And Deshaun Watson was one of my favorite quarterbacks, man. And like I said, you just hate to see it, bro. You hate to see it.
So I'll add to your question too, Bryce. I'm about to say, my bad. If my girl or my sister decides to go massage, hey, I'm going to go massage a football player. I don't care if it was Deshaun Watson, Jadeveon Clowney, Quinnen Williams, or freaking Nick Foles. I'm still gonna feel some type of way. It doesn't matter. Like it's like
if she was a masseuse, though. If that was her job, that's her profession.
Man, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Paper, bro.
That's not the demographic that I would want her massaging. That's all I'm saying.
That's a fair point, man. It's also a fair point that if a guy DMs you, not just Deshaun Watson, period. If a guy DMs you, asks you, are you comfortable massaging the lower abs and the glutes specifically? I'm gonna just say use a little bit of just fall.
Those are problem areas, man. You play football in problem areas.
Use a little bit of logic and understand what this person is saying without saying, and he shouldn't be saying that, right? At the end of the day, anything you're doing is non-consensual. We know by now. You know what I'm saying? We've been through this. We've had all the Me Too stuff. That's what makes it even crazier that my girl ain't massaging no pro athlete.
Bro, right? Why would you do that, bro? Like, nah.
That's her profession. That's how she get her paper, man.
Right,
That's how
man.
she get her
Man, most likely I ain't trying to marry no masseuse, bro. That's just me. I'm good. Like, I'm good on that, dude. Good.
Oh man. But nah, at the end of the day though, it appears to be bad. So how do you guys think the NFL should really handle this? I mean, Deshaun Watson's lawyer is a huge, big time guy that's defended like Adrian Peterson. I like it's a long. Are you asking? You ask for your girl to get taken.
Facts.
No.
Nah, but I answer your question. See, what do they should do about it? I think they should do the same thing they did to Ben Roethlisberger.
Nothing.
So yeah, nothing. Yeah, right. You know what they told Ben Roethlisberger to do? They said, "Oh yeah, we got a rape allegation." They told Big Ben to get married. They said it'll help your image, right? Yeah, that kind of nut shit goes on, right? And we all forgot about that, right? We all forgot about that. Oh no, many people forgot about it. No, it's not tainted on his legacy. No one says, "Oh yeah, remember when Big Ben had rape allegations?" They forgot all about it. Like sometimes it comes up, but I'm just saying.
No, you
like
make
it's
a good
not
point.
fair.
Big Ben has this had the rape. Peyton Manning had the physical trainer issue similar to Deshaun Watson when he was in college. They ruined that woman's career. So this really isn't foreign to athletes or NFL players, but this is on the opposite side of the Me Too era. So we can't go by all those old precedents, man. This is a new era. And personally, I think when you get a chance to get a high-profile athlete that appears by, at least before this, to be a good guy, I think the NFL, sponsors are looking to kind of steer this guy. I think they're going to look to publicly execute this guy. If he can't find a way to get this settled and this drags out, NFL might just tell him, you can't play this season. The NFL has been trying to make this move to, and it's fake. So I think they're just trying to pacify women. I don't really think they care, but we know to keep up with appearances, they might try to tell this guy, you're not playing next season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because they love to prosecute great black athletes. But they damn sure don't do that to the great white athletes. Because, like I said, when Big Ben had a rape allegation, they told him to get married. When Drew Brees had something negative to say, what did they say? Oh, freedom of speech. Get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. Like, they going to try to do this in unfair. It's going to be unfair. Whatever. You did it or not. Regardless, we all know plenty of dudes doing all types of stuff. But the fact that they're going to go out their way to try to defecate my man Deshaun Watson, the best quarterback prospect I've seen in the last 25 years, and by far the best quarterback prospect, period, black or white. But okay, because he's black, okay, you're going to do him just like Michael Vick? That's cool. That's fine.
No, I mean, you bring up a good point, Scrub. I mean, the black athlete always gets a short end of the stick. That's something that we know. And, you know, I hate to get into, I really hate to start trying to judge levels of sexual assault. You know, I really do. But I do think that there are some gray areas in this type of assault, these acts Deshaun may or may not have made, these allegations, that he could claim that, you know, he didn't know he was doing anything wrong, or he wasn't attempting to do anything wrong, or like, you know, there's a lot of gray area in there, right? And maybe he gets a team of representatives around him that are able to, you know, prove that gray area. And I'm not saying I don't know what the NFL should do. I really don't in this case. You know, I'm really not sure. But if I had to guess what they will do, I think they will bring it to a point where they suggest that Deshaun Watson gets counseling. They suggest that Deshaun Watson takes some time away from the game to get himself right. And you know, if the allegations are true, I tend to agree with that. You know what I mean? If the allegations are false, I don't think anything should happen. If the allegations are false, I think that whoever made them should be tried with the full extent of the law as well. But if these allegations are true, man, I don't see how the NFL can't take action. And I think T hit the nail on the head, man. We're post Me Too era, and I do think the Me Too era was a net positive, right? I mean, at the end of the day, like we can't, as men, you know, in society, we can't continue to treat women how they've been treated for thousands of years, right? It's just not fair. It's nothing about it that's fair. And I am happy that women are, starting to gain the power to be able to speak out on these type of things. And if it comes down that he did these things, man, I do think that he will not play next season if these allegations turn out to be true. But he will play again because we know how the NFL goes. We know how the NFL goes, bro. Talent is what reigns supreme in the NFL. He will play again either way. I promise you that.
So when he signs his contract and all the stuff goes away, would y'all say that it would be safe to say it's BS, right? If that would happen?
He's already signed. He's already signed the contract,
he's under contract. I mean the extension.
Well, that's the slippery slope, right? Because if he is thrown on that exempt list, I believe Texans can void his contract and don't have to pay him. I think they're out from under that obligation. So personally, I think we're done. I don't care how you slice it. We're done seeing Deshaun Watson in Houston. I think that ship has far sailed. I think we're looking at Deshaun Watson 2022, 2023-ish. I mean, because litigation can take years, and that's the real gray area here, right? Because how can you exempt a guy that hasn't been convicted of anything? And if this is strung out, how long do you keep him on the list? Like how long? And it is hypothetical because they haven't suspended him yet. But, how long can you tell this guy he can't play football?
It'll be a travesty. It would be the biggest travesty in the NFL, if you ask me. I mean, like Michael Vick's situation is one thing. This is another situation. I mean, I just hate to see such a talented quarterback, just go to waste. And really what it comes down to is, he decided to play an owner's game. And that's like a lot of people were very upset about it. Just stay in your place, right? Trying to play owner's game, trying to control the chips. And then, okay, so you want to play an owner's game? Let me show you how we play for real. And that's when the gloves came off.
Yeah, but you know what? If he and this is how if I'm being totally honest with my logic, man. If he did absolutely nothing, these allegations can never come out, bro. Like, there's not going to be a woman that's exchanged messages with him on Instagram, where he's apologizing. There's not going to be a woman that communicated the day of the alleged assault to one of her family members. If he did absolutely nothing, there can be absolutely no evidence to speak of. You know what I mean? And I think that is the thing that sticks out in my mind. And as much as I, love what Deshaun Watson represents on the field, you know what I mean? The off the field stuff matters. I kind of liken it to the rap game. I've always been one that tries to judge people for what they are, right? Like, if you're a rapper, I'm judging you for your art as a rapper. Because that's what you are to me. You're nothing more, nothing less. I don't know these people as people. I don't know what they're about, right? If you're a football player, I'm judging you for your skill on the field or on whatever court you play on if you're an athlete, right? But sometimes these gray areas are created where we're forced to judge people's personal lives. And if your personal life has any sort of blemishes on it, there's a chance that it can be exposed. You leave yourself open for the chance to be exposed. And I just hope, it's not the case for Deshaun Watson, but we shall see, man. And like I said, as the days go by, it looks worse and worse for the boy. It looks worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because the numbers just keep growing week by week, day by day. And from my point of view, each new allegation add a couple $100,000 to whatever settlement you're going to end up paying these women, because that's how it's going to go regardless. Whether you get prosecuted criminally, I don't know. But he's paying a bag to try to get out from underneath these allegations. That's his only out at this point. And it's looking tough.
Exactly. And that's the perfect out for the owner, because because the best way for him to solve the problem is just to sign the goddamn contract extension.
But what if he all right, Scrub, what if he pays the bag? What if he pays all these women $100K? Do you think that means he did nothing? Because I know if I did nothing, I'm not paying a bag to nobody, bro. Like, there's no way if I know I did nothing, nobody's getting a bag off me.
$100K is not enough at this point, because the noise is too much. That's a fact.
But I don't care if it's $100. If I didn't do anything, we're gonna fight that to the bitter end. Like, if I know it for a fact I did nothing. So if he pays any money in settlements, to me, it's almost like you said earlier, T, with Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder got everybody on these agreements, they're signing all these agreements that they don't gotta, they can't say anything. They can't speak on it, right?
The NDA.
They're signing all the NDAs. He's
Yep.
shelling out bread to get people to sign, right? If NDAs start getting signed and money starts getting shelled out, that should tell you something right there, to be honest.
Yeah, but at what point is just the publicity? Because whether it's true or false, people get convicted in the court of public opinion, like he's being convicted now to a certain degree, like he's already being convicted across social media and all different type of platforms. That's all I'm saying, man. It's just like it's not worth the rumor being out there. The rumor being out there is already detrimental to his image. And it's not fair. And at that point, you're just trying to stop the bleeding. You know what I mean? So I don't think it would prove him guilty or not guilty if he decided to settle. I think that would just be the best way to cut his losses at this point.
Right. I mean, like Bryce said, man, your play, just being a star. The NFL, all that will go away if you pay all of this off, right? If you pay it off, you don't get a criminal charge. You win some games. No one will be talking about this anymore. If you get out on that football field and you lead somebody's franchise to the playoffs, you're fine. But would you rather pay your lawyer $5 million or pay $100K to 15 women? You're going to pay your lawyer probably $3 to $5 million. You're going to pay them women probably $10 to $15 million, if I'm guessing. I'm thinking most of those women are going to get close to $1 million, if not more, because of who he is and how profile this case has gotten. And like I said, every woman that comes forward, I mean, we're at the point, right, where we have women coming forward with different lawyers. They're not even getting under this big name lawyer who's supposed to be elite, right? I can't think his name, Tony Busby or something. He litigated the BP oil spill. We got women saying, I don't even need to get under him. I can get my own lawyer and still, bring my story to light. So it's getting real bad for you guys. And it's going to take a lot more.
Yeah, that's a fact. And Deshaun Watson's rich, bro, already. And at the end of the day, yo, like, I know for me, I'm a man before I'm anything else. I'm a man. Even if I was in the NFL, I'm a man before I'm a football player. I'm a man before I'm a Gas Sports for the Culture host, right? I'm a man before all that. If you accusing me of something that I didn't do, you're not getting $1 out of me. Unless I know I did it, you're not getting $1 out. You're not getting nothing out of me. Never if I know I didn't do something. Never.
I don't know. That's a very honorable way to handle things. It's not always the logical way or, the path of least resistance. I'm paying it. Like if I'm just caught in a bad place and I can't figure it out, I'm gonna just pay to make it go away versus who knows what may happen. You mess around, end up in jail over lies. If you really didn't do it. There are plenty of people in jail for things they didn't do. My pride ain't worth a jail sentence. I got families to feed, kids to feed. I can't do it, bro. But I respect.
On the flip side, it's like, what are you telling? Don't get me wrong. Your kids, your family, they're gonna know who you really are. But it's almost like, what are you telling them? Kind of like
life is not black and white, and everybody needs to know that. So
it's a lot of gray. It's a lot of gray in these situations, man.
Life is lived in the gray.
That's a fact. You pay that bread, you're no longer a sponsor. You're no longer getting sponsors.
I mean, like facts, you said, you're a man first. I can live with myself. If I can't live with myself, then none of this matters.
But I mean, it's all here. It's neither here nor there, man. We don't know. Only people that know is Deshaun Watson, the women, and God.
Hey, can I say something though, bro? I think this should be I think we just spent about 35 minutes on this show, and I don't think any other sports show, sports network, nobody's gotten it as in-depth as we have with real thoughts, real feelings, just off the cuff, giving you the real. I haven't seen nobody doing it. I've seen a whole lot of political correct stuff, and I love the fact that we didn't go that route. We really, really went in on this. So I feel like we can lay this Deshaun Watson until there is real evidence. We can RIP this story, bro, because we just went in more than anybody's going in. You know what I'm saying? So let's table this discussion for real evidence, and we can go ahead and keep it pushing until that happens. You feel me?
Facts, man. Facts.
That's a fact.
Facts. Yeah. Nah, facts. Well, yo, let's dive in, man. We got into the legal and social, and there's a lot of layers to that Deshaun Watson story, really. But there's also a lot of layers to what's going on in the NBA right now. We had a pretty eventful NBA trade deadline this past week. If you're like me, I'm a person that I feel as though I love to get my mind in the head of a GM, and I love trades. I love analyzing trades. I love talking about this stuff. And so the NBA trade deadline to me is it's one of my favorite days of the year, right? It's right up there with Christmas. It's right up there with the NBA draft lottery. And it's right up there with the NBA finals and March Madness, man. So it was a beautiful thing, man. NBA trade deadline was very eventful, if you ask me. We had some big names moving across the market from the trade market. Big names include Victor Oladipo, a name that I knew was going to get on the block, and he ended up on the Heat. Another name that was on the chopping block, Kyle Lowry, did not get traded, and also relatively big news. Clippers added Rajon Rondo, and the Bulls added Vucevic. All-star, very underrated all-star, and a nice little package of deals. Bulls actually made a couple moves. A couple other minor moves worth mentioning. The Sixers picked up George Hill. The Lakers, in the buyout market, picked up Andre Drummond. LaMarcus Aldridge signed with the Brooklyn Nets. So, fellas, all these moves, man, like, how would you grade them? Who had the most prominent move out of all the trade deadline moves, including the buyout market? I'm gonna start with you. Which one of these moves was the most prominent to you?
For me, the Bulls, man, you can tell that they're trying to rebuild quick. I believe that the Bulls are trying to build fast as possible. The fact that the East isn't that much, there's only but the Nets, and eventually, if the Nets don't win this year, if they don't beat the Lakers this year, you could tell that they're going to dismantle that whole roster. Like, they're going to try to just keep James Harden as much as possible, and you might see Kyrie Irving get traded. Because this whole situation with Kyrie Irving and the Nets is just a guy, he's finicky, he plays here, he doesn't play there. And now you just need someone that could partner with KD to hold down the team. Because look at what James Harden did. I don't think Kyrie Irving could hold down the whole team by himself the way James Harden hold down the whole Nets roster. The way he plays with them. So I think for me, I'm going to go with 8 for the Bulls.
That's interesting. Okay. Wasn't expect. I mean, actually, it wasn't expect. You are a Bulls fan. It's the first time you could feel proud to be a Bulls fan. So I know this moment. You've been waiting for this moment since Derrick Rose busted his ankle. So I know it's been a long time coming.
The same way you pull about Ben Simmons in this jump shot. You're never going to see that again.
Yeah. All right. Well, when the Bulls make if the Bulls make the playoffs, then okay. Let me craft up a bet for you next week on the Bulls, and we'll see how petty and confident you really are, my friend. T Boogie.
It's gonna be the Bucks versus the Nets for the Eastern Conference Finals. Just remember that.
Yeah, all right, whatever, dog.
Obviously, we can point to the Nets. So I mean, I do want to talk about the Bulls a little bit. I like what they did acquiring Vucevic. The Magic get to rebuild fresh with their young guards. Playing Vucevic and marketing together gives you an inside-out presence. However, Vucevic came and took Lauri's spot. So and now marketing speaking out like I'm a starter in this league. So the coach is going to have something to work out there. But I do like Vucevic, marketing, Levine, a young guard, and Kobe White. I like what the Bulls have. It's not enough, right, to get past the top tier teams, but I like what they're doing. But we got to point to the Nets, man. Everybody wants to play with the Nets. It's indicative of where the NBA talent thinks, the championship is going to be. These guys are ring chasing. Make no mistake about it. Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, ring chasing. If they believe they could win a ring with LeBron, they would have went and played with him. They seen Harden. They played against Harden. They played against KD. They know what that Nets team is about. They went there to get a ring. I do like Rondo. I think Rondo with the Clippers mixes things up. Now you got Rondo out there playing D, and we know he can work with superstars. You know what I'm saying? I like what the Clippers did. I didn't really find too many bad moves, to be honest with you. But obviously the Nets, man, just having more firepower. We said they needed more depth. They got more depth. Aldridge is there. Best move so far is just being able to buy these old vets.
I feel it, T. From that perspective, because I did say the Nets needed a center, and I think LaMarcus Aldridge is more of a true center, at least closest thing to a true center in this game. He's actually probably perfect for this modern game as a center, and he's a Texas product. I already saw that coming. I actually predicted it on Twitter, so that's that. But and it's a buyout market, so it's basically costs you like next to nothing in a sense as well. So also a very feasible move. Bryce, who do you think had the best move? How would you rate as the best move of the NBA trade deadline and buyout market this week?
The best one is kind of hard to rank. I think some under the radar moves. One, I'll start with the Bulls. I think what the Bulls did was pretty impressive because for the last 3 or 4 weeks, most of the news coming out of Chicago was that they were going to get rid of Zach LaVine, and they did a complete 180 shift to bringing in pieces to continue to surround Zach LaVine. So I am impressed by that move. I love buying into your own players, like not giving up on your guys. And in this era where everybody's, grooming a superstar just to trade them away and get draft picks, the Bulls said, nah, we're going to keep our guy that we've developed over these last couple seasons that's gotten better. I mean, he was decent in Minnesota, but he's gotten incrementally better in Chicago. So I really like that move of them not, giving into the pressures and dishing off Zach LaVine, sticking with him and bringing in another piece to help him. Another move that's going under the radar, I mean, this is the team that was in the championship last year, and that's the Heat adding Victor Oladipo. Nobody's mentioned that yet, but that's a huge move. I mean, Victor Oladipo, I get it. Maybe he hasn't been what he once was on the Pacers to some, but I still think he's got that in him. Still a young player, under 27 years old, so still a young guy with a lot of juice left. We know he can jump out the gym. I like that move a lot for the Bulls. Jimmy Butler gets a guy that he can tag team with. My favorite move, I don't think it's the best, but my favorite move is definitely Rondo to the Clippers. I mean, Kawhi Leonard's been begging for a point guard for 2 seasons now. Since Kawhi Leonard got to the Clippers, he's been telling them he needs a point guard, right? Like, I mean, Kawhi Leonard comes from a system in San Antonio where he had a Tony Parker. Then he went to a place like Toronto where he had a Kyle Lowry. He understands the value of having a true point guard playing with him and his skill set. Kawhi Leonard is not really – he can ball in that point forward role, but it's not really where he thrives the most, man. It's not really his thing, Let a guy take that pressure off of Kawhi Leonard. So I really love that move for the Clippers. But I think of the most underrated move. Don't get me wrong, I love what the Nets have done, but they're getting the over the hill gang together. Blake Griffin over the hill, LaMarcus Aldridge over the hill. But guess who's not over the hill? Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is arguably still in his prime. Like, I don't know how he got bought out. I mean, Andre Drummond is still a dog, bruh. Like, Andre Drummond will still go out there and get you 20 boards. You can't say that about LaMarcus Aldridge, and you damn sure can't say that about Blake Griffin at this stage. So I think that, in my opinion, that was the best move. I mean, we talk about, seeing Markkanen and Vucevic on the court together. Imagine seeing Anthony Davis and freaking Andre Drummond, bro. You're not getting no boards on that tandem, bro. LeBron James has never played with 2 big men that are as dominant as those 2 guys can be together. So I'm interested to see how that works out. I believe they're going to end up starting both of them and have a little Twin Towers type of thing going on, the new Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum type of style. And like I said, when Kobe had Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum, that was a chip. That was a chip. If any team is going to, I really think it comes down now to the Nets and the Lakers. Is all anyone cares about at this point. If those 2 teams aren't in the finals, we're all going to be disappointed. But for a minute, over this week while I was thinking about what I was going to say today, I thought I was going to, go with the Nets. But now I'm going to the Lakers, man. If the Lakers are healthy, if they have AD and LeBron at full health, adding Andre Drummond, Dennis Schroeder's been balling. I love what the Lakers have put together. I love it.
Yeah, you make a good point, Bryce, because Andre Drummond is definitely still in his prime. And a guy that gives you 15, 20 boards easily on any given night is just like, it's a tremendous asset to a team that already has, if you ask me, great bigs. I don't think that's the best move either.
It's not.
I don't think it's the best move.
It's not.
I don't think it's the best move.
It's not. It's just a move. Why do you think nobody wanted the guy really? I mean, Andre Drummond,
him.
bro. I mean, the Nets want everybody
for the Nets.
The Nets want everybody they can get, but Andre Drummond, man, the knock on him is he can get you 15 points, 15 rebounds, maybe 20 and 20, and you still lose by 18. You still lose by 18.
He played for
on the Pistons. He played for the Pistons and the Cavs, bro.
Now he's playing with AD and LeBron, bro.
Are the Cavs? Were the Cavs not a playoff team? Were the Cavs not in playoff contention?
When was the last time the Cavaliers made the playoffs without LeBron James on their roster?
Are the Cavs in playoff contention right now?
No.
No,
The Cavs. I'm
They
talking
may-
about
they
the
Somebody
East.
pull it up.
No, they may be. They may be. They're in
who cares?
playoff contention at the moment.
No.
They didn't make the playoffs though. That's all I know.
This is the problem with Andre Drummond. If you listen to Shaq, look like a fool talking to Candace Parker. Andre Drummond does not fit today's style of basketball. If you cannot switch on a pick and roll, if you can't switch a pick and roll, you can't score offensively. What you're not helping.
Bruh,
What are you talking about?
The Nets start DeAndre Jordan. In your mold, he doesn't fit either. But at the end of the day, these guys are specialized players.
DeAndre Jordan plays 25 minutes a game.
What do you think Andre Drummond's going to play for the Lakers? 25.
20 minutes.
Exactly. That's what
20
they
You
need out
still
of him.
need that though. You still need
That's
somebody
what they
going to
need
get you
out of
boards, bro.
So what's the value of a rim protector when everyone's shooting threes?
Boards, bro. Everybody shooting three, you still miss shots. You need rebounds, bro. Rebounding is one of the most important elements of the game, bro. I'm not going to sit here and overlook a rebounder. You said he's a rim protector. He's more of an elite rebounder than he is a rim protector. Y'all in here talking about Charles Barkley on the show.
Is an elite rebounder. James Harden is an elite rebounder. There's a lot of guys averaging double-figure rebounders. Double-figure rebounders. Like,
I'm so disrespected, bro. I'm so disrespected. I've never seen a guy that puts up 15 rebounds a game. One of the most important elements of the game puts up 15 rebounds in his sleep, and then people say he's not worth anything. Like I don't even get it.
Then why has he moved teams twice?
The same reason that everybody in the NBA does at this point. Who's not moving teams twice?
No. They bought him out, right? We understand LaMarcus and a Blake, right? We understand. We thought their play has arguably fallen off. You're telling me a guy in his prime had his contract bought out. Why does that happen?
They bought him out. Okay, this is why. Because they're looking at their roster like, we're not making the playoffs. We're not going anywhere. We're going to buy this guy out. We're going to buy this guy out because his contract is very, very large. They don't want to keep paying him. That's why they're buying him out. They're not going anywhere. Why pay this guy this amount if we're not going nowhere? That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to.
And they just picked up Jared Allen, who's much younger and much cheaper.
Don't get me wrong. I love Darius Garland and Colin Sexton, but they're not getting it done this year. I mean, they're bottom. They're bottom three in the East. Don't get me wrong. They're 3 or 4 games out of getting the play-in spot. So I'm not gonna say they're out of playoff contention. Technically, they're in playoff contention in the East, but everybody is. Matter of fact, everybody is damn near in playoff contention in the NBA with 10 teams playing in now. All I'm saying is, bro, Andre Drummond has elite skills, and I get what you're saying, bro. Andre Drummond's never carried a team to the playoffs. But he doesn't have to do that when he's playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You know what, where did Anthony Davis go before LeBron? What was his playoff resume like before he got with LeBron? It was nothing. It was obsolete. It never really happened, bro. It never really happened. But guess what? When you get on a team with LeBron James, you get in LA, things change, brother. Things change. And things about to change for Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond's going to look like a ridiculous – at the end of the season, we're going to be like, how did the Lakers end up getting Andre Drummond like this? Watch.
Man, y'all talking about the wrong moves, though, man. For real. That's why, I had to intro the topic, so I was going to let y'all finish. But the Miami Heat made the best Heat to trade at the trade deadline, man. It's very obvious to me. I was going to let y'all finish. But, Victor Oladipo is the best target, best name to move across. And the Miami Heat was a team that was actually, I think, in the most need for a helping hand. Like, the other teams were already good. Like the Miami Heat, they picked up Victor Oladipo. To me, Victor Oladipo is a certified stud, bro. I don't think he's really been able to let loose on a team like he has when he was on Indiana. Like he was just playing around when he was with Houston, and last couple years with Indiana, he wasn't really right. But like, let's not forget a couple years ago, Victor Oladipo was like, looking like Russell Westbrook 2.0 for a hot second. So him on the team with Jimmy Butler and the rest of them young bulls out there, I think that's the best move. I think the Heat. I had a couple of months ago said that I was selling the Heat. I'm going to go ahead and buy the Heat back at a lower price. That's how you do the stocks, baby. That's how you do the stocks, man. That's how you do the stocks. You feel me? But that's a mute topic for now. But I'm gonna keep my eyes on the Miami Heat. I got big expectations.
So how about Aaron Gordon with the Nuggets? Don't like that move at all? I think that's a better.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool move. I think Aaron Gordon's a little overrated. Overrated.
Is he overrated? And what's this kid name?
I'll tell you somebody who's overrated.
I remember the name. Who's overrated?
Who's overrated? I think actually there's one of the players in this or that we have for tonight is overrated. So I'll go ahead and segue into our next and final topic of the evening. It's this or that, man. This or that. It is the new hot topic that y'all love, man, because it's so easy, man, and it's just so simple. It's this or that. It's very simple. So tonight we are talking about two young phenoms of the last couple of years. We're talking about Zion Williamson, the most hyped prospect that's come across our eyes in the last 15 years, I'd say, safely. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Luka Doncic, the most surprising, amazing prospect that nobody really saw coming, except for me, because, if you check my profiles, I had him number one. I said he was going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's on his path to being a Hall of Famer. So, yes, I saw it coming. But this or that, Zion Williamson or Luka Doncic. I mean, you can't really go wrong with either choice. Fellas, who wants to jump in first?
I'm going Luka. You saw him coming. I'm going Luka. I mean, I like Zion, right? I love his style of play. He brings something to the NBA that we haven't seen in a while. But I'm going Luka, right? Luka has a skill set that transcends athleticism. And athleticism is Zion's, his biggest ability. He's bigger than you. He's stronger than you. He's faster than you. Last time we saw that was LeBron. So I know it sounds crazy, but Luka's style of play, man, he could blow an ACL and come back and be the same guy because it's not predicated on out jumping you or speeding past you. It's pure basketball, man. It's fun to watch. He's growing every year. He's looking more and more comfortable putting the team on his back. If he got a little bit more help out of Porzingis, and honestly, he's missing another piece to make a real run. He's just missing one more piece. But I'm going Luka, man. I love what Zion is doing. Crazy numbers. But Luka is that's how you teach the game, man. I don't care what age, what size. If you're 5'10" and you have Luka's game, you're a baller. You know what I'm saying? If you're 5'10" and have Zion's game, you're probably a running back. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going Luka.
If you're 5'10" and you have Luka's game, you're a baller, but probably
you're Saquon Barkley if you're
probably lifetime fitness or Gold's Gym or somewhere out on the blacktop. Luka is a dog, bro. I'm not gonna take that away from Luka, man. The guy he's a walking triple double. There's no question. But me, I'm going Zion Williamson, bro. I'm going Zion Williamson. Let me explain why. First of all, Zion Williamson is 20 years old, right? He's only 20. He had 1 year at Duke, straight to the league. He hasn't been groomed in professional basketball. So guess what? The ceiling is high. Guess what? Luka's almost at his ceiling, fellas. And if you think not, you're tripping. Luka about this far from his ceiling. Zion's ceiling, he looking up. It's glass. He's got a glass ceiling ahead of him, bro, and he can break through it instantly. Zion right now is shooting 62% from the field, bro. 62% from the field. Do y'all understand what that means? That's
I know what it means.
Levels. That's Wilt Chamberlain levels. You can't compare him to anybody in recent years levels, bro. That's a center that only shoots 5 shots a game, and they're right in the paint levels. That's a guy that only gets 5 shots a game, and they're all dunks levels. But if you're watching Zion, he's shooting threes, he's taking bombers off the dribble, he's getting buckets from the perimeter. Zion's doing it all right now. Let me give you a little stat, man. Zion right now, as we speak, is 1 game away. He's 1 game away from tying Shaquille O'Neal's record. Shaq had 25 consecutive games with 20 points on 50% shooting. 25 straight games shooting over 50%. It doesn't happen, bruh. Zion Williamson's efficiency, it does not happen in the NBA. Don't get me wrong, bruh. Luka Doncic is a dog. But if I'm starting a team today, give me Zion Williamson. Give me the guy that is already about to tie Shaq's record and still isn't even close to his ceiling, bruh. Zion can be so much more than what he is right now. And he's averaging 26 points a game, shooting 62% from the field. I think what's going on right now with Zion is people aren't realizing exactly what we're seeing because he was so hyped coming out of college. And I get that, bro. Zion had hella hype, tons of hype. And most of it wasn't even really for his game. It was for him busting out of the shoe when he was at Duke. But I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, what we're seeing right now from Zion Williamson is next level historic. It's once in a generation, damn near once in a lifetime player. Wilt, Shaq, Zion. When you're mentioned in the same categories as Shaq and Wilt, as far as dominance goes, it's ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I love everything you said, T, about Luka, man. He plays basketball like it's supposed to be played. He's a pure basketball player. If you have a son who's unathletic, you want to show him how to play like Luka. I agree with all those things. But guess what? If you're talking about dominance, being able to dominate a basketball game, very few players can ever say they did that. And Zion is well on his way to being the most dominant player in the game today. And I think another thing that people get hung up on is athletic ability. Yes, Zion is next world athlete, man. It's ridiculous how athletic he is, right? But he does not rely on his athleticism as much as people want you to think. It's just not the case, man. Zion is a lot more skilled than anyone gives him credit for, or at least more than T's giving him credit for. Because T literally said his game is all predicated on athleticism. I'll let you know, man. I've been watching him. I watched his last 2.5 games, and it's not just athleticism anymore, man. The dude's got an IQ. He's got a ball handling ability. He's knocking down threes. He's knocking down free throws. So once he gets to his 65, 66% from the field, you're not going to be able to hack a Shaq Zion because he's shooting 75% from the free throw line. Dude is next level, bro. I'm starting a team today, and I got to pick Zion or Luka. Give me the 20-year-old that is looking up at a glass ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, you dropped some big names out there. You're talking about Shaq, Will Chamberlain. I got some, and you dropped some stats. I got some stats for you, my friend. So 60, what do you say, 62% from the field? It's pretty good. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you who set the single season record for field goal percentage. Mitchell Robinson from the New York Knicks, 74%.
But how many points was he scoring? How many points was he scoring? It doesn't matter. If you're not averaging a dub, it doesn't matter. You're getting 3 dunks a game, bro. Stop it.
I'll let you get your shit off. Let me get my stat off, guy. And then you know who had the stat off? You know who had the record? You know who had the record before that? DeAndre Jordan. And we all talked about how mediocre he is. So, like, I'm not impressed.
4 lobs a game from Chris Paul, bro. It's level.
I'm not impressed by the field goal percentage, man. And I'll tell you, I'll say it now, like I was gonna say it before, bro. The most overrated player. I think the most overrated player in the NBA might be Zion Williamson. To be honest, and it's not because he's not good. G. I mean, it's not that he's not good. He's really good. 26 points a game. He's shooting a great field goal percentage. He's took massive steps forward in the second league. I think he's one of the best players in the NBA. So let me say that. But I think he's the most overrated player in the NBA because of hype. No one was more hyped than this guy. Like, his hype train was ridiculous, bro. It's like a movie, bro. It's like when you go to the movies. You go to the movies and somebody hypes up the movie. Oh, this movie's so good, it's so good. And then, like, the movie be like, it be good. But it don't be nearly as good as you thought it was, or because everyone hyped it up. And that's how I feel about Zion Williamson. Like, Zion's good, but, like, he's not nearly as good as they hype him up to be. And that's just my opinion. I think he's overrated, but I do think he's one of the top 20 players in the league, but I think he's overrated. Just me, because like they act like he's the best player. To be as hyped as he is, he should be the third best player, second best player in the league. But Luka Doncic is legitimately top 3 in the league. Like, and he's actually underrated if you ask me now. He came in a little overrated in the season, but now everybody done forgot about Luka. They done forgot about Dre. We're gonna make a remix. Forgot about Luka.
UCLA
Michigan is here.
UCLA just beat Michigan bruh. That's crazy.
They were all by
My bad,
2,
bro.
right?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. I said put some bread on them if they beat Michigan. Put your bread down. They in the Final Four, yo. Crazy.
That's crazy, bro. That's a live update. Live update, man. That's wild. I was peeping the score. I missed that though. Dang. Yo, all right. Last but not least, G. As we close out for the night, Zion or Luka?
I'm gonna ride the wave with Luka. Luka's the way better player. It's just the whole thing with Zion right now is his health. And in the long term, can he hold down that weight? That weight is gonna be his Achilles heel, where it was his rookie year, where they were just scared to have him on the field because he might hurt himself. He had that knee issue. So, but hopefully he can control his weight. And if all that fat turns into mass muscle, then that's baby Shaq on that floor. And God knows we don't need. God knows baby Shaq ain't something to play with. But as of right now, because this is all hypotheticals, you gotta take Luka because what Luka is giving you right now. He's a young dude that got into the field and is playing the point. He's a top 5 point guard in the game right now. But the fact that the fact that Zion, if he holds on that weight and it gets turned into solid mass, because baby Shaq on the field, which is gonna be fucking crazy. But I gotta go for what I know. And I know right now that Luka Doncic is that guy. Shit, he came into the season this year as a top 5 candidate for MVP. A lot of people were saying that Luka was gonna be LeBron at an MVP race and shit. If it wasn't for like the way that Dallas hasn't been playing that great, they've been playing kind of mediocre. So we thought that they'll be at least a top 4 team this year. I think they're like 6 in the West right now, or 6 or 7. They're falling between there. But yeah, I gotta take Luke on this one, man. And my boy knows how to speak Spanish, man. I didn't know that shit.
Hey, I got a question for Scruff, man. At 20 years old, was LeBron James overhyped? Like,
No.
Yes.
Then you can't say no and then say Zion's overhyped because Zion's numbers are comparable, if not better, depending on how you're viewing them, than LeBron James's numbers at 20 years old, bro.
Hey,
So if you don't think LeBron was hyped, then don't tell me don't tell me Zion's hyped because the numbers are comparable to LeBron James at 20. He's 20 and he got numbers like LeBron.
But his numbers are not better than Luka's numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like for Zion to be this huge powerhouse and this dominant force, right? You would think he would rebound better than Luka, right? He doesn't. I mean, I don't know what's stopping the guy from rebounding. He can jump out the gym. He's bigger than everybody. But Luka's the better rebounder. Luka has a 30-point, 20 rebound game. A triple-double with that. What about assists? Doesn't compare. And we all know Luka can score the ball. Luka's field goal percentage is pretty high. It's always 45, 48. It's not near, right? But if Zion isn't playing well, and he's been playing well the last 20-something games, but if he's not playing well, he has a Brandon Ingram to help him out, to take some pressure off. He's got some guys around him. He's got a solid point guard in Lonzo. It's Luka or nothing out there. Porzingis,
bro. They got Porzingis. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. They got a nice roster. They got pieces, I mean, bro.
If you want to count Tim Hardaway's and
he's about up there with Lonzo. He's about his numbers are about up there with Lonzo.
I'd say the Pelicans have a much more talented roster. If you ask me,
they do have
because you got to like he has another 25 point score, and he has a point guard that was one of the top draft picks just a few years ago. Like he's got all the tools to be successful. Like you know what I'm saying? And you compared him to LeBron James. The difference between him and LeBron James is that LeBron James made the NBA Finals first time at 22 years old. Is Zion going to make the NBA Finals at 22?
20. He might, bro. Yeah, he might. Hey,
he needs to make the playoffs first, Bryce.
But Luka didn't sniff it. Luka didn't sniff the finals.
We keep throwing LeBron's name out there, right? Luka realistically as it stands, is the only guy that can catch LeBron's numbers, and he's on pace to break his numbers.
Yes.
So until Zion gets on that pace, I'm not going to say I'm taking him. All right. You said he had the 1 year at Duke, right? What did he have? A knee injury. He had the 1 year last season. What did he have? A knee injury. The guy is carrying too much weight. I think physics says his body won't hold up. He's going to have to trim down. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he can play that weight at the rest of his career. I don't know. But as it stands, his numbers do not compare to Lucas. His impact on the game.
His numbers do compare to Lucas.
But they're lower.
The numbers you look at. It just depends on the numbers you look at.
If you want to hang everything on field goal percentage, that's great. But his numbers are low.
No, efficiency. Efficiency matters in the NBA, bro. It matters.
All right, you're more efficient, but you get the ball less.
You're at the basket.
Right, right. I do way more with less. If I got the ball as much as you, I probably have better numbers.
Then why aren't you getting the ball as much?
You just listed Brandon Ingram. You just listed Lonzo. You just told me why 2 minutes ago.
Exactly.
They playing team ball.
Right. If a guy was that dominant, we wouldn't be playing on team ball. The ball's going to go through Luka. The ball's going to go through Harden. When you're at you know what I'm saying? When you're transcendent talent, the ball goes through you.
He's 20. When last year Luka had nobody, and was the ball going through him? Yes, but he didn't have Porzingis. He didn't have Porzingis. And guess what? Now
he almost averaged the triple-double since he came into the league.
Not since he came in. His first year, he wasn't having no triple-double.
Hold on.
I mean, he was averaging pretty close to a triple-double though.
His first year, he was averaging like he wasn't what he is now.
He wasn't averaging damn near 30, but he was averaging
he averaged over 7 assists, 21, 7, and 6.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, you know, it's not a triple double, but it's good. It's good numbers.
That's damn near a triple double.
I'm not saying Luka's a bad player. So don't try to frame it out like Luka's bad. Luka, I said from the beginning, Luka is a dog. But if I'm starting a team, right? And you know, I will preface it with this. Injuries aside, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Zion been balling all season. He ain't been hurt. You know what I'm saying? Most of the season. He might miss a few games, but I don't foresee Zion having injury problems his whole career like you guys are banking on. Because you guys are banking on that. I'm not.
Oh no one's
I'm not banking on that. I'm just saying he's overrated. I'm just saying he has way more hype. I'm just saying he has way more hype. He hasn't lived up to his hype.
Give me the guy that's about to break Shaquille O'Neal's record for 20 points over 50% field goal percentage games. Give me that guy, bro. Give me that. That's called unstoppable. That's what that is, bro. Shaquille O'Neal was unstoppable. Zion is playing this season at an unstoppable level, bro. It's a fact. Give me that guy. At 20 years old, give me that guy. He's about to break Shaq's record right now, and he's only 20 years old. Please give me that guy.
The difference between him and Shaquille O'Neal is that Shaq had a sidekick. Like average 25 plus points a game, and they've repeated at the finals.
Guess what?
Zion has a sidekick like that, and he can't even get to the playoffs.
He doesn't have a sidekick like Kobe. Stop.
No, he doesn't have Kobe.
First of all,
I didn't say he was like Kobe. I said he averaged 25 plus.
Second of all, Shaq was 7'1". Zion's doing this at 6'7", and he's this dominant, bro.
The difference between Shaq and Zion, right? Because they're scoring their points all in the paint. Shaq, Zion, all the points are in the paint. The difference is
Zion's points are not all in the paint. No.
Check the shot charts. Check the shot charts.
How many threes a game does Zion shoot? How many threes a game do you think he shoots?
1 or 2?
How many? Maybe more than that. Maybe more than that. Maybe more than that. More than that. And he's shooting 62%, probably shooting about 4 threes a game.
Pull up his highlights. It's all layups and dunks. But what I'm saying is Shaq came into the league at a time where there were all-star caliber players at his position, right? There were big centers. Elijah Warren was there. Morning was still in the league. Mutombo was still in the league. The league was full of guys that should have been able to stop Shaq. The league is not built to stop Zion. They don't draft guys that are 280 anymore because analytics say the 3 ball is worth more than the 2 ball. So if you can't shoot the 3, now maybe we see Zion change the game and bring bigger guys back to the league. But as it stands, these big guys are 6'10", 6'11", 215. Of course, the only guy I can think of that weighs anything close to Zion is LeBron.
No, it's Boban. Boban Marjanovic. Hey, all I'm saying is, bro, you're not gonna find a guy. You're not gonna find a guy that's gonna be Zion's side. The league's not gonna have to be able to adjust to Zion because nobody is Zion, bro. You can't make a Zion. Hey, Scruff will tell you, bro. If you're a dominant presence in the paint, if you're physically more dominant than the people around you, you can impact the game differently. Like it just is what it is. If you have a fit, we used to be in the gym. Me and Scrub used to be in the gym with little short dudes, 5'6", 5'7" guys, bro. All me or Scrub had to do was camp in the paint. We're gonna get buckets, bro. Because at the end of the day, we're more dominant. Dominance matters, bro. Like dominance matters when it comes to this. And Zion is only 20 years old, and right now he's already the most dominant player in the NBA. That's saying something, bro. That's saying something, bro. Wait till the boy's 22, 23, 24, 25. Now, he might be barring injuries. I got to.
He might be the most efficient scorer. He's not the most dominant. I mean, how can you say Zion is more dominant than a Harden? How can you say Zion is more dominant than these guys that carry their teams by themselves?
Harden doesn't carry the team by himself any longer.
I'm just saying, these guys you can go to for everything. That's dominance to me. What Luka does is dominant to me. I'm rebounding. I'm facilitating. I'm scoring. You got a guy making a bunch of layups and dunks, and you're telling me he's dominant. I got you.
Yeah, that's what Shaq did. He was dominant. He made a whole bunch of dunks, and I was telling you he was dominant. Absolutely. That's what dominance is. Dominance means
destroyed a bunch of legendary big men.
Dominance means that no matter what
there's no more legendary big men. Rudy Gobert is the highest paid center. That tells you everything you need to know.
Man, why y'all
scores 8 points a game.
Everybody trying to disrespect 8 points a game, man. Put some respect on Rudy Gobert's name, man. Rudy Gobert disrespect, man.
Your man rubbed coke
8 points a game and makes over $20 million. That's crazy.
Bro, defensive player of the year, what, twice? Put some respect on the Frenchman, man.
A French guy is the most dominant big man.
Yeah,
tell you everything you need to know.
You disrespectful, man. Put some respect on my guy Rudy Gobert, man.
And then Ben Simmons, the Australian.
Thank you.
Put some respect on. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Put some respect on Ben Simmons too, man.
Both of these guys can't score. They get in those big contracts.
Nah, Ben Simmons is a dog. Ben Simmons, like I said, bro, 6'11", Rajon Rondo. If Rajon Rondo was 6'11", we'd be talking about one of the best point guards of all time.
He shoots a high percentage too, man. Ben Simmons, about 58 or 59%. That's all I'm saying.
If Ben Simmons could get his points up per game up, I would be the first person to say that Ben Simmons is, top 3 point guard in the league. But until that happens,
And well, when he wins Defensive Player of the Year this year, I want you to put some respect on his name. All right, that's all I want. But also, what I want is for everybody at Dow back home to follow us on Instagram at GoodAssSports. Follow us on social on Twitter at GoodAssSports. Follow us on YouTube. You guessed it, at GoodAssSports. Nah. You can also find us on our Gas Sports Network because we got to keep it PG-13 for all y'all youngins out there watching our contents. Feel me? We ain't trying to get blackballed. We ain't trying to get canceled like Deshaun Watson. But you feel me? We the gang, man. You know what time it is. We got the merch out here. You know what I'm saying? I go get copper hat. I mean, get fresh out here, dog. But yeah, man, it's love, man. It's what we do. Great show tonight, fellas. As always, man, we gonna close it off the way we always close it out. Sports for the culture.
Deporte por la cultura.
Sports for the culture.